Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mystic. Doing a bit of a different video here today. Um, I wanted to do kind of like a, get to know me, who's Mystic XX type video. Just a bit of a yapping one. I feel like they aren't done as often, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do one today. So, we'll get right into it. So, I am gonna be playing this while I record this, so it's gonna be a bit tough. I get distracted really easily. This is actually not my first time recording this, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Anyways, sorry about that. One thing I've noticed, right, is this isn't, or I mean, it's been done more on YouTube now, but, it's not as popular a video to do, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to just, do it. Like I said, you guys get to know me a bit. So yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun. But anyways, hey guys, I'm Mystic X6. My actual name's Jared. If any of you guys are interested. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a psychology student at a certain university. I won't tell you guys just because that is dangerous, and I don't want any of you guys to find me. Anyways, but so studying psychology. My main interest with that is to become a therapist. That might happen a lot. I'm gonna get distracted, so if you guys see the rounds randomly be like weird, that's why. Oh, this is satisfying. Anyways. But yeah, like I said, therapy. It's been a huge like interest of mine, psychology. I took a psychology class in high school, and then since then, I've just really been intrigued by it. So I thought, hey, let's make a career out of it. But YouTube's always like been the thing I've wanted to do. Um, so I made my channel January 7th, 2019. I actually checked before I started recording, just so I could give you guys the exact date. Um, but there's a lot of things that got me into YouTube. I'm gonna say the main one being my cousin, my older cousin. So when I was a kid, he visited my family and I for I think it was around Christmas time maybe. But he stopped by, and we were I think we put up an inflatable mattress for them because we didn't have enough like rooms. So I was like on the bed with him and our other cousin. We were watching YouTube, and then he was like, "Oh, dude, look at this guy that I found recently." And lo and behold, it was Van Gaming, right? Um, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "This is hilarious." I'm like, "Dude, this guy's funny." And the first video we watched was there's like 6 challenges they have to complete. It's like a bunch of not puzzles, but like little like challenges. That's the best way I could describe it. It's like 6 doors. Each door holds a different like map that they do. So that was like my first YouTube video from him, and I was like, dude, this is funny. Um, and then my second video was him playing Buried. I think it was like an Easter egg attempt or something. But it's really interesting because they're talking about wet condoms, the Playboy Mansion. They're saying slurs. They're saying like all these words that I had no clue what they were. So I was just kind of like, I'm like, what does that mean? Like I would laugh, but I'm like, I have no clue what any of this means. Um, and it stayed like that for a long time. But I was just like, dude, like this guy's like awesome. Like I love this. So then he left. My cousin, he left, and I was like, damn, that guy was funny. Completely forgot about him for like a couple months, and then I got grounded one time, and I was just kind of like scrolling around on YouTube, and there was a Black Ops 2 video that Vanos did, and it was him playing on the map Rush on Black Ops 2, which one of the areas of the map is a paintball arena. A Magnum Dong. Yeah, I watched that video and I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. I'm like, he has good ideas, he's funny. So then I was like, it's that guy that I watched that one time. So like I said, I just continued to watch him for a long time, and I was like, this guy's funny. And then the other two like notable people in his videos that always made me laugh were Terrorizer and Wildcat. And I mean, I just thought they were amazing. Oh, sorry, I bit myself. Oh, that really hurt. I'm not even eating anything. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, they all were so interesting to me. I wonder what happens if I just leave it there. Kind of want to leave it there. Um, but yeah, like I just thought they were all funny for their own respects. I really liked that Wildcat was like a tryhard and would rage a lot because even now that's still kind of how I am. So I was like really like that because I was like, hey, like I'm really similar to that guy. Um, so that's something that I was, was like really liked about him. I liked the Terrorizer too. He was into trolling, and that's something that I also found really fun, even as a kid, was just fucking with other people. Um, so I was like, dude, like they're so cool. Like, like I was like starstruck, I guess. I was just so like obsessed, just like, damn, like, like I love these guys. Like they're epic. Um, and I continue to watch them for years to come. So they were definitely like my big inspirations for doing YouTube. They were like the reasons that I wanted to do YouTube. But I never really knew how to do that, right? Like being a kid. And keep in mind, so now I'm talking like middle school, like era. I was like, I want to do YouTube, but I'm like, I don't know how they do it. So yeah, so as a middle schooler, I had no clue how to get into YouTube. I was like, damn, I'm like, that shit would be so badass, but like, what am I even supposed to do? How to start it? Like what do I need to start a channel? Before I used to think that I needed a camera, like an actual camera to record my YouTube videos. And it stayed like that for a long time. And I had this friend in middle school who I play Fortnite with all the time. And I'll talk to him a lot about like wanting to do YouTube. Can we just get it? I would talk to him about wanting to do YouTube, but I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Um, and, we just kind of stayed like that for a long time, and I was like, fuck, man, like, like, I was just kind of like, well, it was just like one of those things where I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a stupid childish dream that, never comes true, which sounds really sad, but, like, it's fine. So I was just kind of like, like, it was something I came to terms with, something I accepted, so I never let it get me too down. So yeah, so high school, like I said, I think it was before the new year, so right before January 7th. But I think we had just gone back from school from a break, and we were talking, and he's like, "Yo, Jared, look at this shit." I'm like, "What's good, baby girl?" And it was a YouTube video from him, and it was like a Fortnite montage, and I was like, "Dude, that's fucking sick," because I was like, "How the fuck did you do that?" And he was like, "Just download the Xbox app on your phone," and he's like, "And download the clips from there." And I'm like, "Huh?" So then he shows me, and yeah, you just download like the Xbox Live app. Barrett, nah. You download the Xbox app, and then from there, it's like you said, you download the clips that you want to use. You throw it into iMovie. Originally, I used Viva Video. Like I said, January 7th, I make my first, or make my YouTube channel. And I was like, damn, like, this is so exciting, like, I'm a YouTuber now, right? Not a good one, but, like, by definition, I was a YouTuber. So, like, I was ecstatic, I was like, this is so cool, I made a YouTube video, I showed it to everyone, I showed it to my mom, my grandma, my friends, I was just super impressed, and it got, like, 80 views, so I was like, hey, I'm pretty fucking cool. From there, I just kind of continued to make videos, right? I would just make montages from all the clips I had, on Siege from, like, years. And, I was happy with that. Like, I was really satisfied. When I got to sophomore year, that's when things changed a lot, and for the better. That's kind of why I'm here today. My first semester of sophomore year, I took on more challenging classes. I took on sports. So I really filled up my schedule, and I made myself a busy, busy person. That's also when I got my first relationship, which, next video idea. Um, but so yeah, so that's when I started, I kind of stopped content creation, quote unquote, right? Just because I was always really busy, and I just didn't have, like, time for it as much as I wanted to. So I kind of just stopped it altogether. I really locked in, and I finished that semester with a 5.0 GPA, and, my family and I were like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't know you can get that. My family was like, we didn't know you could get that. And I'm like, huh, that's fucking sick. So, right now, and then at that point, I think it was like December-ish, right? Early December. And all of the people that I would play games with, two of them were on PC already. One of them was on Switch, and then there's me on Xbox. Um, but everyone, or the other guy that was on console, switched to PC. So I was like the only one still on console, and I was like, well, I don't want to be on console. But my mom, she came out to me and she goes, I'll buy you a gaming PC if you want it. I was like, yes. I didn't know what any of that shit was though, or what any of it did. You know, like I was just really confused. I was like, you know, like I know I want a computer, but like I don't know what that computer does. You know, I'm like I don't know what makes it good, what makes it bad. And my brother had a computer for a couple months like before me, so he didn't really know too much either. But you know, when in doubt, Costco it out. That's what my family always says. Costco was selling a gaming PC at the time. It was a 2080 Super, and that was like the most notable thing. Everything else was like, you know, basic power supply, basic everything. What I was saying and kind of restart. So my mom got me a gaming PC. It was a 2080 Super, and I had no clue what that meant. All I knew was that that was cool as fuck, right? And not even cool as fuck. Just like I have a computer, so I'm cool now, right? That was like my process. So I go back to school and I'm telling all my friends like, "Yo, gangsters, your boy's getting a gaming PC." And like I'm excited and this and that, right? You know, my two bestest friends, which are still my best friends to this day. What can I say? Loyalty. Call me a trident the way I be loyal. I told them about it, and you know they had PCs for like a couple years, so like they actually knew what like PC stuff was. I didn't, and they're like, "Oh, what are your like specs?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "The specifications," and I was like, "Okay, you're not making any more sense." I'm like, we're just saying random mumbo jumbo now. Like, is that what we're doing here? And they told me that like what are your computer parts? And I'm like, oh, I was like, I got I'm like, I don't know. And I told them like everything aside from the GPU. I waited until the end for that one, not on purpose, just because I'm stupid. Um, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I think it said like a 2080 Super. I'm like, I don't know if you guys know what that is. And they looked at each other and then looked at me because they're like, you got a 2080 Super? And I'm like, yes, I just said that. And they're like, do you know like what that means? And I go, no, not in the slightest. So we all started playing games together. It was awesome. I loved my computer. And at this point, I was super excited because I was like, me playing on PC now meant that I could play games with like my voice recording. Because before, right, it was just straight like game audio, no Mystic. So I was like, this is awesome. So I would record entire Siege games, which can range from like maybe 10 minutes to like 40. um, and I would record that. And my mic sounded awful. Like when I say awful, I mean like dog shit. I took down all those videos because I mean they're just scuffed. I never wanted them to be seen. But yeah, they were like really shitty, and I was really confused as to why I wasn't at 1 million subscribers when my videos were, like I said, jack diddly shit. Yeah, I just kind of would upload whatever, and I was like, dude, this is sick. And then after some point, so Ferg was my editor, he's my thumbnail artist, he's my best friend, future best man. So I remember like getting a bunch of like clips and telling Ferg like, man, you know, I really wish I could do something with this, but like I have no clue like what I'm supposed to do. And Ferg was like, I'll edit for you. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, I got you. He made me, I think, 3 videos in a quick batch, and then it was a long time before we made anything else. Well, he made anything else. I didn't do anything. But the first ever video with like editing and all that, it was what do you call it? An alpha pack opening. Which now it's a tradition that we do every couple years. We do an alpha pack opening. But so yeah, so like I said, that was like my first video that was like edited. But yeah, so we made like 3 videos, stopped for a long time. And then that was my sophomore year, and then that's when my the latter part, or not latter part, but that's when the next part of my content creation journey started, and that was Twitch streaming. Because I was like, I feel like that's what everyone does, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. So I started streaming, and I had a bunch of plans, and it was awesome. And then I wanted to kill myself. Again, this is gonna be for a future video, but my ex-girlfriend and I, we had like ended things, and I was really sad. So yeah, so like I said, that's gonna be a different video talking more about that and relationships. But yeah, so I quit like I quit content creation like completely for like a long time. And I think it was like my junior year when I got back into it because we had school online. That was when we had COVID and school online and all that shit. I was a junior. Um, so I didn't do like any content creation for a long time. But like I said, I started playing Siege again. I recorded a bunch of videos, and my buddy Ferg did a fantastic job on them. I think those videos should still be up. They didn't have anything like bad about them. So I was like, oh, we'll keep them up. So we made a bunch of videos, and then I think it was like in my second half of junior year where I told my friend, I was like, maybe I should learn how to edit. So I did, and it was awesome. My first video was like a Minecraft video that was really shit, and sometimes I watch it back and I'm like, wow, that was awful. And I told my buddy, I'm like, damn, dude, I made this and I thought it was hot shit. I was like, it was hot shit, just not good. Um, and so from there, I just kind of kept learning. I kept improving my videos, and I'd be like really frustrated. Anyways, we're gonna chill in here for a second so I can talk. Cause okay, this is really gonna fucking piss me off. It doesn't go away soon. Okay, so yeah, let's just gap. So I started editing my own videos. I started streaming more, and I was like, I want to be an affiliate, right? Because once you become an affiliate, you make money, and I'm like, I want money. So I grinded my shit out. Pause. And this was around the time Valorant came out, so I would play that a ton with my friends. Uh, Myself and Ferg came from CS:GO, so I was like, I wasn't goated, but I was goated, if you guys know what I mean. But I mean, I had a blast playing Valorant when we first started playing, especially in the lower ranks, because I was really good at aiming. I wasn't good at anything else. And what I would do is at the end of every game, I would drop my Twitch. Now, you're thinking, you're scum. Hear me out. I would carry like every game. So if I got at least more than like 20 kills and was like at least top 2 of the leaderboard, I would drop my Twitch because I'm like, hey, like I did a good job. These guys should fucking watch me. I gained a ton of followers that way. I grew exponentially, and I remember I was in a Minecraft stream, and I became an affiliate. Like that's when they sent me the email, like, "Yo, dude, you're locked in this shit. Congratulations." And I remember I cried. I cried on stream. I was like sobbing. I was like, "Holy shit, guys, we fucking did it." And then at the time I think 17, maybe I think I might have been. I was either 16 or 17. No, I was still 16. I turned 17 the following month. Um, but I told my mom, I'm like, hey mom, I'm an affiliate on Twitch. She's like, that's awesome. What does that mean? I'm like, you can earn money. She's like, that's even more awesome. I'm like, yeah, I just need your social security number. And she looked at me like, fuck you say to me? Because if you tell your Mexican parent, hey, I need your social security for this thing online, trust me, I'll make money. She's gonna look at you like you're a fucking dumbass. And the first day she told me no, and I remember I was pissed because I'm like, you're telling me I just grinded my ass off, streamed all those hours, played like I know it's like, wow, you streamed and played games. It was Valorant, it was torture. But I was really sad because I'm like, wow, there goes like part of my dream out the window. So then the next day, my mom's like, hey, I looked over it, I looked about it. She's like, I know what it is now, so here, like you can do your thing. And I'm like, wow. Also, guys, I'm probably gonna yap for a good while in here just because it's safe and I don't have to worry about dying. I am really annoyed with what's going on with my screen there, so just bear with me. If I look here, you can't even notice. Yeah, you guys can't even tell. Please make it go away. Anyways, um, but um, so she let me do that. I became an affiliate on Twitch. So now I was ecstatic. I'm like, holy shit, like I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing Twitch. This is awesome. And by this point, I'd kind of lost interest in my YouTube channel because I wasn't getting like any views, I wasn't getting any subscribers. And to be fair, I wasn't uploading anything good. So like it's not like a what? Like there was a correlation. Um but I began to kind of like go away from YouTube more into Twitch, and I would still upload, I'd still edit, but nothing was ever like good. And then um so senior year, same thing. I did a whole lot of nothing. I'd uploaded videos, but none of them were very good. When I got into university, I got my first sponsorship deal with World of Warships, and I was like, holy fuck. Like are like in like this is insane. I was so happy. I got like 80 bucks from it, and I didn't care. I was like 80 bucks. I'm like, I finally made money from this. And then the next one was Mech Arena, and then the last one was none other than Raid Shadow Legends. And people make fun of me, but I'm like, yeah, I made $600 from that. So yeah, make fun of me all you want. I made money from a fuck ass game. So lick my nutsack. Um, okay, I'm gonna do that so it doesn't get annoying. I'll chill here for a bit and then I'll leave, I guess. But anyways, um, so yeah, so university. Um, I kind of stopped editing and I mainly just streamed. And I wouldn't get a lot of views. Like overall content creation for me didn't kick off until 2024, which is where we're getting to. But kind of like my first 2 years were like almost like nothing. Like in university, there wasn't like anything special. It was just kind of meh. And then when I got to my, I think it was like 2024 when 2024 started. It was January, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change things. I don't like the way things are. I'm gonna change them. So I started a duo streaming, multi streaming. I streamed on YouTube and Twitch, and I would stream Warframe, and people would come in and they would watch the stream, give me advice. Right, it was fun. Like I made there's a lot of people there. Some of them that still watch today, so it was really nice. So I was like, oh, like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Blah 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 blah. And if you guys have watched my best of 2024, that's actually the very last clip. What I'm about to talk about right now. But I was shooting for the grind to hit 100 subs, and I didn't really know like what to do. I was just kind of like, like I guess it's just a time thing. And I think it was January 27th that I checked my YouTube channel, and I was like, holy shit, I got 101 subscribers. So I sent it to my buddy Ferg because we were in call, and I was like, dude, look at this. And I was ecstatic because I'm like, holy shit, I just hit 100 subscribers. So I was super happy. Um, and then I made this. This is where it gets really good. um, from there, I made this short, and if you guys have never watched it, you guys definitely should. It is my most popular video on the channel. But since I've been playing a lot of Warframe, Gauss Prime was someone that had just come out, right? That's why I got into Warframe, because I was like, I want him. If you guys don't know, he's basically the Flash. That's like the best way I could explain it. But I'd been seeing a lot of edits on him on YouTube and on TikTok. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, I always make the mistake of never jumping on these trends. I'm gonna do it. So I did. I made a couple videos, and the short is called Gauss Prime Based. And holy fuck, guys. So I uploaded it, and that first night it got like, I think 20 views. And I was like, damn, that really sucks. But I was like, all right, whatever. So next day I wake up, I go to the gym, working out with my friend, I check my phone, and I was at like 1,000 views. And I was like, holy shit. Keep in mind, none of my shorts had ever done, like my short, I think my highest viewed short at that point was at like 3,000 views. And I felt like fucking ninja, peak ninja. Um, and I was like, dude, this is so fucking cool. Oh my god, oh my god. And it stayed like that. And then every time I checked it, it went up in views. And I was like, holy shit. I went from 2,000 to 3,000 to 5 to 7 to 10. And it just kept growing. And I was like, holy fuck, this is insane. And my subs, the same thing. I went from 100 subs. Basically, the time that it took me to edit a best of what was supposed to be a best of 100 subs, I was at 300 subscribers already. I think I was at like 380. So I was like, holy shit. And keep in mind, this was like only like a few months. This was like, I gained about like 100. I gained 100, 200 subs the first month. So like February, March. And then I gained 100 subs every month after that until I peaked around like, I think about 600 subs. Yeah, so that short got me a shit ton of views, and I thought it was awesome, and I felt so cool because I was like, because I think it finally hit 100,000 views, and I remember I was like, wow, like that's awesome. I was like, holy shit. And then 200, 300, I think it's like 450,000 views right now. I don't know if you guys want to check, but I was so happy about what that short had done because I was at like 600 subscribers because of it, and I was like, holy shit, I'm cool now. Um, so from there, I was like, this YouTube dream, I'm like, it's real. Like, this is something I can do. I'm like, this isn't anything that is like, oh, it'll never happen. I was like, this has potential. Like, I could really do this. So, I did something that I thought I would never do, and that was join a YouTube creator server called NewTubers, and originally I'd said that I would never want to collab with other YouTubers just because I felt like those can't be real friendships. Like I can't, what if I can't trust them? There are so many things, and I know you're thinking like, well, if your inspiration is Vanos, how the fuck would you think that? I don't know. It was just I just never really liked the idea of recording with other people. Um, it was just kind of like scary to me. I was like, I'll just record with my friends. But the thing was, the friends that I would record with, they'd kind of just laugh about the whole thing, or like it wasn't always good footage, so it was just kind of like eh. And then Ferg wasn't available to record all the time, and I didn't want to make solo content, so I was like, fuck it. So I joined, and this beautiful man, my main man Geo, commented on one of my posts that I made about like feedback on a video. So then we added each other and we talked about like, maybe making content together. And he's like, one of my other buddies is gonna join, and that's when I met Burrito. Burrito, if you're watching this, I love you. You're my fellow bean brother. Um, I have favoritism towards Burrito just because he's a fellow Latino, a fellow Hispanic man. So us beans got to stick together. And then from there, I've met everyone else. Jags, I fucking loved Jags. Well, I love Jags. I love them all, but Jags always makes me giggle because he's British. And the first time I heard him, I thought he sounded like Stampy. So I was like, this guy's fucking awesome. And then I'll say the latest member, but he's been there for a long time too, and that's Rocking. Rocking, if you're also watching this video, I love you, bro. Um, but yeah, so we all made like so I started making a lot of content with them, and we played a lot of games, and it was really cool because I was like, wow, like like these are like people that I want to be friends with for a long time. Um, so it was just really cool like hanging out with them. Um, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of my story with YouTube. Um, I am sorry that at the end here I stopped playing games. I really wanted to focus because I felt like I was, you know, yapping off a little too much. But yeah, I don't really know what else to add, but I do just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you guys made it to the end, hit that like button and, say something in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. But I want to make this like a series talking about myself, talking about maybe my view on things, and some of them will be solo, some of them will be with Ferg because some of them kind of have to be a conversation. Um, but just because I really like I really like talking. I don't know if you guys could tell. And sometimes I can't really get like this type of feeling in a funny moments video because, well, I mean, you gotta be funny, am I right? But that's about it for me, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you look in the description. Follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord. So you guys want to yap to me, you guys totally can. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Also, if you guys have any ideas on what to name this series, you guys should let me know. Right now, the best I'm working with is Yap Sesh. So, just about anything would be better. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.